For any revolution to occur, it requires people's support, and without people's support, nothing is going to happen. Even the independence movement required a lot of mobility of the population in order to show the true power of the people. Over the last 10 years, we have worked really hard to keep this movement alive. We have tried almost every single possible thing that could be done, whether trying to change this prohibition through the bureaucratic force, or through the legislative force, or through the judiciary force, or through creating public education and awareness programs. We have succeeded in some fronts, we have failed in a lot of fronts. In the last 10 years, in November 17th, 2014, when the first success case of a cancer patient being cured by using the cannabis oil, it was immediately posted on Facebook, and then the word got out, and then it was spreading like wildfire on the information. There was no censorship or other things on the Facebook algorithms at that moment, and cannabis was still being talked about, but the same cannot be done today. So the only thing that has changed is, though there are a lot many users that are available right now on the online and social media platforms and other things, the information on cannabis and maybe any other topic was actually moving a lot easier on social media platforms. There were a lot of moments when the doubt of legalization creeped in. Actually, there still is. The amount of efforts that we have taken from the great legalization movement in India over the last 10 years, visiting most of the government offices, bureaucrats, filing a letter at the Prime Minister's office in 2018. And finally, when nothing worked out, the hopes were lost. But again, the hopeless situation also brought hope in terms of filing a petition at the Delhi High Court to actually make sure that the plant is free and legal completely. So any kind of hopeless situation must always be used as an opportunity as to, okay, if this is not working, then what is it that we can do? So the bureaucrats were not interested to listen to the matter. The ministers were not interested to listen to the matter. The Prime Minister's office and writing a letter at the PMO office also did not get the matter settled down. Speaking in social media platform did not settle down the issue. Speaking on newspapers or print or any kind of journalistic media platforms did not work. So finally, when all of these things were not working, there were hopeless situations, but that hopeless situation was converted into a hopeful situation by filing a petition at the Delhi High Court in 2019, and that was the first case that was applied for a full-scale legalization of cannabis since it was prohibited in 1985. And when the court admitted the case, there was some hope that finally we are going to see some change when it comes to this particular thing. But again, one of the hopeless situations that is coming out of this thing is something that should have been settled in a matter of few hearings is being stretched out for over the last 4-5 years, and all these endless delays that are being caused is really hurting one community the most, and that is the patient community, because the patients really do not have access to any kind of medications that work on their illnesses or diseases. Neither the allopathic systems are able to help them, nor the Ayurvedic systems are able to help them, but something that can be cured by using the cannabis or cannabis extracts, especially the RSO, if this community is the only one that is suffering. So there was a hopeless situation, we got the hope, and then again now there is a hopeless situation. So there is going to be some kind of a hopeful outcome from this entire mission that has been happening. No, the people are, in fact, if there is any one thing that has slowed down this legalization movement so far, it is the people. We've been doing our job. We've been active, trying to educate, making sure that the voice is being spread, the right kind of information is being spread, using all the right kind of mechanisms. So one way we are approaching the bureaucrats, another way we are approaching the ministers. On the other side, we are doing events, we are doing public gatherings. But when people do not show a whole lot of interest in carrying forward what has been received to them and available to them, that is when the chain gets cut off. For any revolution to occur, it requires people's support, and without people's support, nothing is going to happen. Even the independence movement required a lot of mobility of the population in order to show the true power of the people. But the problem that is happening here is people don't even know how they've been scammed, how the government has lied to them, what kind of a wrong policy framework has been set up, how a culture has been abolished or tried to abolish, how one of the most important medicines known to mankind has been taken away. So none of them are knowing just how badly they've been messed with. So there is no real need to blame the people as well. We have done our job in trying to educate as much as possible with whatever limited amount of resources that we had at our end. But people are also distracted. People are also having their own lives to run and other things. But the problem always comes when one of their own loved ones are suffering, and then they do not have the access to the medicine, and then they can run around and not be made available with any kind of a good cannabis oil extract because it is still not legalized. So and the cancer rates are really increasing. In 10 years ago, the amount of cancer that we had in India, and 10 years later now, the numbers are almost doubled. So the cancer. So what is going to happen in the next 10 years? By 2035, right now we have some 14 to 15 lakh cancer patients being registered every single year. Then it's going to be 30 lakhs. That's almost 3 million people, and that's 3 million families that are disrupted. So the people don't really know, and they have been a drawback to a certain extent, but they cannot be fully blamed. But if they really know how badly they've been messed with, there is going to be a revolution. But again, more than the people, it's the journalists who have not done a great job, because they should have, if the journalists take upon a particular issue, anything can be changed in this country. The media is being heavily controlled. The journalists are either controlled or sold out, or they're working for a corporate media setup, and there's no availability of true journalism in this country anymore. And even if there is, this topic somehow doesn't seem to be of any interest for any of the journalists. Why, like over 20 to 30 lakh people dying in this country every single year without availability of a proper medicine is not an issue for you guys. So more than the people, the journalists have failed this cause. Win this petition that is filed in the Delhi High Court. Soon after that, so we have this proper mission for the legalization movement. First, it's the educate the society. Then it's liberate the plant. Right now, we are at that particular phase where we have to liberate this particular plant. Soon after that, we have to regulate the harvest, which means what kind of regulation model are we going to bring into the country. That is another huge step to work with the politicians. And after that, it's about medicating the people, making sure that the right kind of medicines are available to the public, either from the GLM organization or one of its subsidiaries, and also making sure that the doctors are well trained with how to use cannabis therapy and everything related to the right kind of strains and doses, and that entire knowledge stream that needs to be shared with the scientific community. After medicating the people, the next set of missions is also innovate the products and also recreate the entire world. By meaning that, there are thousands of products that can be created by using cannabis and cannabis hemp fibers and herbs and other things. So all of the product needs to be created, and only then we will be able to recreate a better world than what we are living in. So these are all some of the next big steps for the legalization movement, and all of those things have to be achieved, and they need to be achieved fast, because the amount of destruction that's happening to the planet and the society is at a lot accelerated speed as compared to any kind of positive change that is trying to be reinforced into the society. What is really important for the great legalization movement right now, and something that can be done by you guys, is just take all the information that is already produced and share it with the like-minded community. If there are any books that is going to be released, buy the book. If there are any products or merchandise that is going to be built and put under the legalization store, buy it and support it, because that's the only way where if there is an inflow of money through merchandise or through books or through donations, which we have not received any so far for the last 10 years. Everything has been running and everything has been built purely out of passion. And if we somehow have money flowing through these three streams as told, either through the merchandise, either through the books, or either through donations, then we will be able to use those funds to bring in right kind of skilled people to continue many of the projects where we have stopped. For example, the ganja situation, we have done 7 episodes of the ganja situation. It was supposed to go into season 2 and make more videos, show more reality of like what are all the destructive things that has happened because of this particular prohibition. There's so much of production to be done under that particular series. So all of these things cost money. So only by supporting the organization directly, sharing all of our content with the right kind of people, raising your voice on social media platforms, attending the events and attending the meets, this is the only way that the legalization movement is going to be complete and succeeded. Otherwise, you can just sit in your room and wonder why nothing is being done. The only question you need to ask is, what is it that you have done for the legalization movement?